Stretching over 13,000 miles, the Great Wall of China is only the man-made structure visible from space on its
Snake on the mountain's back, lost in the fog, sleeping under the desert. Some birds, from which the rising smoke has never been sent. Some doors opened without knocking, and some books say the way to this wall was shown by an invisible dragon, a wall which took the lives of 10 lakh people. The construction of this wall was in progress, 2,000 years, and many empires were completely bankrupt. We are talking about one of the 7 wonders of the world, the Great Wall of China, the world's largest man-made structure, which took the lives of not just stones and soil, but millions of people, which is the world's wall. Why is it called? It is the world's largest graveyard. Why and how was Great Wall of China built? Despite this, why was this wall failure proved? Now you will see the history of the Great Wall of China in just 15 minutes. To watch such videos, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel so that you can keep getting fact. The Great Wall of China. As soon as you hear the name, you see a huge wall of stones in the shadow of the wall, which floats on the peaks of the mountains. This wall is not only made of bricks and stones, but there is blood, sweat, and thousands of secrets hidden in it. But this is not just one wall, but a sign of the stubbornness and fear of a king 2,000 years ago. Fear of his enemies and stubbornness to prove his strength. This wall, a straight line. It is a huge network of walls, forts, ditches, watchtowers, towers, and gates built at different times. According to the total length of the official survey, it is considered to be about 21,196 kilometers. That is, if you walk 30 kilometers every day, it will still take about 2 years to go around the whole wall. There are many places in this wall. Its height than 30 feet, and the width is so wide that a horse or a small car can walk on it. This wall passes between mountains, deserts, and jungles. Looking from above, it feels like a river of stones is on the earth. Every year, millions of people from all over the world come to see it. It is not just a symbol of China, but one of the 7 wonders of the world. It is surprising in itself that such a big structure would by humans. It is said that millions of people lost their lives to make it. Some people, the biggest miracle of the earth. Such hard work, such length, and such a large scale, no other wall in the world has been matched it. The wall, which is so old, is still standing with its beauty and strength. In 1985, there was a riot in Yahoo, and 2 of its friends broke the wall from one end to the other. They had to face a lot of difficulties to complete the Great Wall of China. It took them 510 days to cross this wall, which is about 17 months. Since then, no human has been able to cross this wall. This wall is built in the north side of China and goes from the snowy desert to the Yellow River. On its way, there are high mountains, dry deserts, snowy areas, rivers, lakes, and various forms of marine life. This wall can be seen floating among them. Maybe that's why the Chinese call this wall the Quadron Dragon, a dragon made of stone which helps protect it from foreign invaders. In fact, a large part of Chinese people believe in a story that thousands of years ago, a dragon flew and paved for this wall, which was built by the workers following it. In Chinese beliefs, the dragon is considered a symbol of energy and divine power, which protects them. But let's try to know from the point of view of scientists away from stories, when and how this wall was built. So for this, we have to turn this time in the opposite direction and go back to 2,000 years in the history of China, when people living in the Shaanxi region of China started farming. They used to irrigate their fields. At that time, China had empires such as Mongolia, Manchuria, and Xinjiang, but in those empires, there was no fertile land of Mongolia, but there were deserts. Spreading in those days, people of the Shaanxi region lived in a well-organized way, while there were many broken and scattered tribes of the Mongols who always entered the Shaanxi region and looted and stole their money and other goods. To avoid this problem, the people of China chose their own king and set a limit and decided to build tall walls all around it. Qin Shi Huang of that period became the first ruler of China, and in 223 BC he started the work of building the Great Wall of China. But it was not possible for any empire to build such a long wall. In fact, after him, many empires had contributed to building this wall, and it took 2,000 years to complete it. During this time, the kings had to hire engineers and scholars of Vastu art to work on this wall, and more than 200 million laborers contributed to it to build the Great Wall of China. All the Chinese empires employed a large number of common people as well as prisoners. They were sent to build the wall for 4 years as a punishment. Stones were cut from the mountains where the stones were common. In the plains and dry areas, the old technique of rammed earth was used to press the soil, small stones and pebbles into the woodwork to make a solid wall. Imagine without machines, only hands, shoulders, ropes, wooden sleeves, and human-sized bricks and stones could be climbed on the mountain. The weather was hot sun, humid air, snowy nights, and work continued. Time change methods changed, especially in the Ming dynasty. Bricks were used more. Bricks were placed in equal measure in equal rows up and down so that they spread equally. There was a mixture of lime and sand, but in some places rice was mixed with starch so that the spices could absorb more water, and there were fewer cracks. These scientists have found in many of the samples. That is why many parts of the Ming dynasty still stand in amazement. But the wall is not just made of bricks and stones. It is made of human breath workers, soldiers, prisoners, and local people held it in thousands of hands. Someone a plan, someone drew a map. Someone roamed the mountains, someone cooked bricks, someone guarded. There were many difficulties: daily food, water, injury, disease, had to be tolerated. Now, if you look at the Great Wall of China, some of it will be seen scattered in the dry desert. Some of it will be seen on such high and rocky mountains where it seems impossible to climb. And there are dense forests around these mountains. In this way, the workers who made the Great Wall suffered a lot in that period. It is said that for 2,000 years the work of this wall was done so fast that the workers did not get a chance to go home for years. They worked 16 to 18 hours a day. Despite this, they did not get enough food to fill their stomachs. In fact, the cruel rulers of China tortured them a lot. These workers had to sleep around the wall in the freezing cold, which killed many workers. Many workers fell into the ditch while building the wall to hunger. But the work of the wall was done so fast that the workers were not taken to near villages or cities to be buried while they were dug and buried near the wall. It is said that about 10 lakh workers died in the construction of the Great Wall of China, whose bodies are still buried near the wall. This is why the Great Wall of China is considered the largest graveyard in the world. Some Chinese people even consider it a curse. Another reason is that during the construction of this wall, many kings of China and their emperors were bankrupt. Now the question arises, how was such a strong wall to build the Great Wall of China? Bricks were used. The bricks were made from clay and cooked for hours in a clay pot to make them strong. But the size of these bricks was 4 times larger than today's bricks. Before building the wall, granite was with stones. At the same time, sugar was applied so that no intruder could easily climb these walls. To stick the walls, lime and rice water were used. About 500 billion bricks were used. You can guess from this how many crores of tons of lime and rice were used to build the Great Wall of China. The Great Wall of China was designed like this. The height of this Great Wall is 23 feet and the width is 21 feet. At some places its height is 9 feet, and at some places it goes up to 35 feet. The direct purpose of building this wall was the convenience of the state. That is why its width was kept so large that 10-foot soldiers or 5 horsemen could run on it at a time, and they could reach where the enemy trying to infiltrate. A railing has also been built on both sides of the wall so that the soldiers do not fall down and they can be saved from enemy attacks. There are also holes in this wall. It is said that some of these holes were used to shoot bullets at the enemy. Chinese soldiers used to shoot bullets from some of these holes. A high watchtower has also been built on which there was always a soldier who used to monitor the movement on the other side of the state. And if the enemy felt threatened during the day, he used to wave the flag or ring the bell, while at night he used to light the fire and inform the rest of the soldiers. There are also rooms under these watchtowers in which 25 soldiers could live, eat and rest. There are about 25,000 such watchtowers in which about 600,000 soldiers lived. There are also several secret tunnels in the Great Wall. It is said that the Chinese soldiers used to go from one place to another, and only they know way. Although the Chinese government had discovered many tunnels, there are still thousands of such tunnels whose entry and exit no one knows. These tunnels, many secrets hidden within them. Now let's go to the turn of history when the Great Wall decided the fate of China. There was a big incident in 1450 which was called the Tumu Crisis. The Ming Emperor was captured by the Mongols. After this defeat, China began to build a stronger wall. General Qiguang created new strategies, improved the distance of the towers, increased the training of the soldiers, and kept the area square. Then came the year 1550. Mongolian leader Altan Khan reached directly to Beijing. It was proved that the wall was strong, but not completely intact. It always needed soldiers and resources. Finally came the year 1644. The Ming Empire was weakened from within. Rebellious farmer Li Jiqing captured Beijing. At the same time, the Manchu army was advancing from the northeast. At a place called Shanhaiguan, where the wall meets the sea, the Ming commander Wu Sangui opened the door for the Manchus. The wall was not broken, it was opened. Politics showed more strength than stones. After this, the Qing dynasty took control of China. After such a defeat, the Great Wall of China is also considered a failure project. Now let's feel the structure of the wall, because this is not just a story of height or length, but an example of great engineering. Where there were mountains, there were large blocks of stone. In the plain and desert areas, the soil was repeatedly dug and hardened, and walls were built with bricks near the cities. This is why some parts are still strong and shiny, while some places have become mud over time. Ponds were built to drain water on the wall. There were tanks to store rainwater, and small rooms for the soldiers. Everything was made with a lot of thought. According to the distance of the watchtowers, it was kept a few hundred meters, somewhere a few kilometers away. In this way, this wall became a net of eyes which kept an eye on every movement on the borders. Today, the Great Wall of China is a tourist destination. Millions of people come to see it every year. They stand at its height and take pictures, but very few people know how many unspoken stories are hidden under the wall they are smiling at. Every stone is perhaps a witness to a worker's last breath. The Great Wall of China is no longer just a sign of security. It is also a story of a person's stubbornness, his fear, and his courage. On the one hand, it shows that if a person wants, he can make the impossible. But on the other hand, it also reminds us that there is some pain behind every great creation. This wall has seen wars, empires have fallen, kings have changed, and now it stands quietly like a long of history. Even today, when the wind passes through its cracks, it feels like the voices of those workers still echo. We have built the wall, but now the wall is standing between us. So next time you see a picture of the Wall of China, don't think of it as a miracle. See it as a lesson that no matter how big the wall is, time and humanity are always higher than it. And perhaps this is the reason that even today the world does not see this wall, but feels it.